Counselor? There's a raccoon stuck in the vending machine.
That's so annoying. I wanted a snack.
Welcome to Trail Mix.
Our mini episodes from Camp Counselors podcast.
Each week, the stories come from you, our Camp Shady Birch campers.
We want to hear your juicy gossip,
Top secret confessions,
embarrassing and scary stories.
and sprinkle in our sage counselor advice.
Trail Mix is for the campers.
And God, do we love you. Hey,
Hey,
happy
happy
campers.
campers.
Welcome back to Trail Mix.
This is our mini episode where we read to you listener submitted stories. So if you have a story you want to share, go to campcounselorspodcast.com, click the little write-in tab, and you might just end up on an episode.
How exciting. We have a really great show for you guys. It's going to be a beautiful day. Make sure your Monday starts off with a little pep. And if you're listening to this on a Tuesday, same to you. And for every day of the week, I hope it's a good one. This is going to be a really good show. I'm really excited. So our first kind of story here is it's a confession of love at work between the bars, I would say.
Oh, God. Okay. And then in our next story, we're talking about karma's window of opportunity. I wrote that one myself.
I think I have another story about kind of karma. We'll let
Okay.
the listeners decide on that one.
Okay. And then our fourth story is about a terrifying camper encounter.
Oh, I'm so excited. Let's get into it, campers.
Are we qualified to be giving advice? No. Are we going to do it anyway? Absolutely.
Welcome back to Dear Counselors. This is the part of the show where we give you advice, and we do our best to give you the best advice we could possibly give. We do it with the best intentions. I'm loving today's little write-in.
Okay. I can't wait. We're going to give the best advice ever.
Let's get into it. Dear Counselors, help, please. I'm a group worker in a prison in the UK. First of all, loving that this person is from across the pond.
Okay. Down under.
A little London listener. She helps prisoners stop offending through rehabilitation programs. She spelled programs with an ES at the end.
Oh my God. Yeah. I love that.
This is exquisite.
She spells colors like COLOURS.
They love to add a U in colors, and we love to tell them that they love to do that.
Well, we have to honor it.
We do.
HONOUR.
Exactly. Okay. I recently moved to another prison, and I have the biggest crush on one of my new coworkers. No one knows I fancy him. We chat loads, one-on-one, and I feel like there could be something there. Lots of shared interests, laughing a lot together, etc. He's also single, and we both speak about how rough online dating is. Although dating someone at work isn't the best idea, it works for loads of people. And if I have to go on another date with a man who can't make me laugh, I will end up in jail myself. So please, help. How do I play this? What are your tips and tricks to move this from friends to something more? I wouldn't want the rest of my team to know. How can things happen slowly without getting stuck as friends? Essentially, how do I get this man into a bar instead of behind them? You both have gotten me through my horrible London commute for over a year now, and I am so grateful for this podcast and the joy you both bring. Love always from across the pond, the crushing camper, and Cell Block 5 XOXO.
Wow. Okay, what an exquisite job. That sounds like she's probably got a lot of stories. And also, we've never been to London. Like, how crazy is it that our voices are just like playing through a speaker out in the roads of London, love?
I know, and I can't imagine. I'm sure there's a difference in how many men work in the prison system to women. Maybe I'm ignorant here, but the fact that we have a female like prison guard
Very niche.
in London
Yeah.
listening to this podcast is so incredibly specific, and I'm honored, and I love this question, and that's why I picked it. Jonathan, have you ever dated someone you worked with?
I have never, no, I've never, let me think. No, I've never dated anybody that I worked with. What about you?
I have dated many of men that I
Okay.
work with. It's kind of been my MO. And look who I'm dating now. Another man that I work with.
Oh my God. Wait, we're clocked in right now.
I only date men that I work with.
Okay.
This is kind of my thing, you guys. That's why I really have to speak about this. First of all, it can absolutely work. It can absolutely not work. I guess what I would say is my only advice to start this off with: how serious are we with this current job? Do you see yourself being in this job forever? And if you do, I would think twice, because I don't know how hard it is to get a job placement. Working with your ex is awful.
Yeah.
Working with someone that you're dating is the best. And it's great because you have all the same interests, or like you have all the same stories, you get all the inside jokes, and it works really well for a while. But I have worked in two different places where my boyfriend became my ex-boyfriend. And that transition is not only the town gossip, but it's incredibly uncomfortable. And it always ends with somebody probably having to leave.
Oh, okay. Especially if it's like a power dynamic. Like
Yeah.
if you're kind of like lateral coworkers and then one climbs like one little step up the corporate ladder and then they're in charge of you. That's awkies. Did that happen to you?
No, I don't. Well, actually, my first job, I dated my manager at a movie theater.
Okay, come on,
And it was
Manny.
amazing. Yeah, that was really fun. It was like my high school boyfriend. So it was like, I think about it very fondly because it was just like the first time I was ever gay. And that worked out great. I don't know where he is now. He absolutely hates me. I ran into him in public a couple years ago and he was actually like visibly upset by my presence.
Oh, what did you do?
He came, I told a story about him on my TikTok, which is, I'm sorry, it's my creative license. Like it's my life. I can talk about a relationship.
And he knew.
And he saw it, but I never said his name. And then when I saw him at the restaurant I was working at, he came in and it was like, oh, where's my server? I'm trying to give her my money. And I was working behind the bar and he wouldn't give me the money to give to her. Like he thought I was going to pocket it.
Oh.
I'm like, I went to your family Christmas parties. We've been on trips together. Relax.
Ooh.
But so that was a little bit of power dynamic. I don't know. This isn't about me. This is about you. I say go for it.
Yeah, I say go for it too. Also, like, you have handcuffs. Like, have a little bit of fun with it, love.
Have a little bit of fun, love. And also, like, love is forever. Jobs are temporary. And also can be...
That's beautiful.
It also can be either way, honestly.
Yeah.
I just think, you know what? If you're getting a good vibe and you want to keep it private, then it could work out. So let's look at some tips and tricks on how to move from the friend zone to the, wait, I'm interested zone.
Yeah, okay, maybe drop some hints about like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing after work. I'm probably going to be free. I'm probably horny. I don't know. Oh, did I say that out loud? My bad.
Okay, you could do that. But also, this is 2023, you guys. So like the girls can completely make the move. I love where you started that. I think that you definitely can offer to set up the date first.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go down to the pub and get a quick beer.
Yeah, what do they call it? Mead. Let's get some mead at the tavern.
Mead is not a London thing. Mead is just something from the Renaissance. That stayed pretty much in the Renaissance. It has nothing to do with the UK.
Okay.
So they're just gonna go get a pint.
Okay. Get a White Claw, love.
Yeah, I say honestly, start by exchanging social media. That's a really great way.
I'm sure they're already following each other now.
So a great way to flirt on social media is to swipe up on the stories. Make a connection to work, an inside joke, or relate to what they're talking about. Bring that up in real life and just make the conversation a little less about work and a little bit more about what you're personally interested in. And now he's going to look at you as, hey, I also fancy this girl beyond the bars and I want to take her to the bars.
Beyond the Bars. We already have the title of your memoir. Beyond the Bars. I love that. And also, you're so right. Like, if a flirtatious, it used to be the Facebook poke. Remember that?
That was gross. If anyone's Facebook poking nowadays, grow up.
Yeah. But now it's like, if you post something on your story and somebody responds, even if it's like not flirtatious, I'm like, whoa, back up. I have a boyfriend. So that is a very flirtatious way to go about things right now. I would agree.
Also, just send out some straight signals, right? Just be actually flirty. And if you're not getting the vibes back, then just stop. I think it's better to be flirty and to be rejected by a flirt than it is to ask somebody out on a date and then say no. So just be outwardly flirty because you can always come back for that. If you ask them on a date and they say no, that's uncomfortable. Like that's sad. I say get flirty, be direct, and just try it out because honestly, life is so short. So enjoy it. God, if anything, it's a really great story.
Oh my God. And good luck. Let us know how the first date goes because I foresee it in the future.
I do too. Good luck, camper. This is a really big secret. Thank God we're on a body of water. This is Confession Canoe.
Welcome back to Confession Canoe. So you've got something you want to get off your chest. This is the place to do it, as long as it's not an illegal matter. Go ahead and write into us and maybe we'll read it.
I agree, as long as it's not illegal. Actually, someone wrote in, I haven't read the story yet, but they said they were talking about an ongoing case.
Oh yeah, we can't talk about it though.
That made national headlines, and the email is so incredibly long that I was like, I need a glass of chocolate milk and an Oreo before I sit down and read this. But I'm pretty sure we cannot talk about that if it's an ongoing investigation. But thanks for spreading the gossip because I will enjoy it personally.
Right behind the scenes, we love the juicy scoop. Okay, so Confession Canoe. This listener writes in, Dear Zachariah and Jonathan, just wanted to start off by saying you make my morning drives to work whenever I listen to you. I could have deleted this part, but we're just going to sprinkle ourselves in some love here. However, there's a confession that I have to get off my chest. This confession is from an event that happened while at church camp when I was in middle school. We love a camp theme. Oh my God, both mine are camp themed.
I went to a church camp in middle school, so I can really relate.
Was it Crump for Christ?
No, it was called Smith Mills.
That sounds so boring.
No, it wasn't. It was fun.
Okay.
I had good memories there, but it was a church camp.
Okay. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Some backstory. This church always did trips for the youth, and I tended to hang out with a group of girls who were a couple years older, but also they were really mean. Like, hey, I get it. The older kids usually were like a little bit mean, don't you think?
Always.
This particular girl in the group acted like Regina George. She's the main topic of our story here, and I will call her Regina. Regina and her friends used to play horrible pranks on me, like locking me out of my hotel room during a ski trip in just a towel, or trying to steal my makeup and food during other trips. That sounds like a story, but like we want to hear that story, getting locked out of a hotel.
Yeah, also this isn't just like, oh, casual like camp fun. This is just like straight up bullying.
That's malicious.
And we're at a church camp, this is like the time you can't really do that. Like where are the trainers, the counselors? Us. Where are we in the situation?
Well, it's just we're gonna bully for Christ. We're gonna bully for Jesus.
Well, the Christian church has been bullying for years.
Hey, they bullied us quite a lot. Anyway, over the summer, the church took us to a camp. And I had a cabin with all those girls, and it fit 12 people in the cabin. Okay, so she's in the cabin with these girls. One day, I noticed my stuff was covered in a liquid. Disgusting. And it wasn't until I turned the lights off when I noticed glow stick liquid had been poured out all over my stuff and even ruined my CD player.
That's insane. I've never even broken a glow stick, but I can imagine that liquid is just crazy. Like it would probably stain your clothing.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
Incredibly like difficult to wash.
So I got a blue glow stick. I was chewing on the end of it because I would take glow sticks and then I loved cracking them. Like I just loved that feeling and that sound. It reminds me of like cracking my back. And I was just chewing on the end of one and it popped in my mouth. And then when I flicked it up, it got in my eye. So I got dual situation going on here. I got it in my mouth, tastes absolutely awful. My teeth are glowing. And then in my eye, I couldn't see anything. Literally, it was just like a bright blue light in my eyes and it smelled so bad.
What happened next?
I think I was so embarrassed and I knew I would get in trouble. I was in my room. I was literally by myself, like in my room. Like I would love to have been like a fly on the wall to like watch that situation happen. But I just kind of I weathered the storm. I did what I had to do. I was brave.
Did you wash your eyes out?
I think I took a shower and brushed my teeth, but it was scary.
And then you went to bed that night and you said, I don't want anyone to ever know about this. And then you started a podcast 15 years later and here we are.
And this is my confession canoe. Yeah.
Oh, so you wrote this story.
So this is, hi, it's me. Okay. All right. Back to the story. Ruined the CD player, which are really expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Regina and her friends started laughing and I knew I had to get back at her somehow. So the next night, Regina suggested that our cabin go and scare everyone in the cabin next door by banging on their windows at midnight. So we all separate and surround the cabin, and I begin to hit the window, and no one was there to witness that I hit the window a little too hard and cracked it. Regina came around the corner, and I told her, bang on this window. And in my head, I thought she would break it and get in trouble. Yes, she broke it, but I was not prepared for the huge shards of glass that came raining down on her arms. And before I knew it, she pulls her arms out and they're covered in blood. She starts screaming. All of us run to the camp counselor's cabin. We wake them up screaming that she's been hurt. She was crying so much, and we explained that she barely touched the window and it just simply shattered. Long story short, it took 45 minutes to get her to the hospital where she needed multiple stitches, and to this day has scars all over and never knew I was the one to cause it. Signed, the camper and windowless cabin, 189, Miss Jagged.
Yeah, Miss Jagged has no windows in her cabin because of her previous record. That's crazy. And obviously, she didn't mean to do that. That was the universe. You can't even feel bad about that.
That was karma's window of opportunity.
But sometimes I feel like we don't think things through as people. And we don't. We shouldn't have done that.
It was karma, though. It was she didn't have a choice in the matter. The universe had that path paved for Regina, and it just happened. And that's what it was.
I wonder where Regina is now
Mm.
and how she thinks about that story looking back.
Imagine her like listening to this right now, like that bitch. Like it's very specific.
Oh, it's so specific. Well, if it was you, girl, you started it with the glow stick.
Yeah, come on.
That was a great story.
The broken CD player. Hope you replaced it. Probably not. Okay, so what have you got for us?
I also have a confession canoe.
Okay.
I'm loving these. We've had a lot of amazing confessions. You guys are really just pouring your souls out to us, and we love to share it with the internet. Anonymously, of course. So if you have anyone you want to share with us, go to campcounselorspodcast.com, the write-in tab, and we might just read it on the show. So this one comes in, Dear Counselors. So this is a confession, but it's a funny one. Probably only funny to me, but a confession nonetheless. It's not something that like eats at my brain or anything, but I think it counts because I do sometimes feel guilty about finding it so funny, even though I have every right to laugh about it now. Okay, so we get where this person's coming from, which I think is important. I'm a trans man, and I'll probably be 19 by the time you get to this. I've been transitioning socially for around 5 years now, but live in a really religious state, so I'm not able to access HRT despite having been a legal adult for a year. So that's like the transitioning medication that you go on. My dad was very much against anything he didn't deem as correct, including all of my tattoos and piercings and the fact that I'm a boy who also likes boys. He was a drunk who threw actual tantrums over anything and everything. One time, I told him I was scared of whales, and he started screaming and throwing a fit, telling me that I wasn't. You know who's also scared of whales? Khloe Kardashian.
Is scared of whales?
So this camper right now and Khloe Kardashian have a lot in common.
Whales are kind of scary.
Well, I don't know if it was like, so that's what I'm saying. People are scared of everything. So this camper is scared of whales. Khloe Kardashian on the Kardashians was like actually panicking and watching them breach. And I don't know if it was like a bit for the show, but it was really funny. I'll have to show you the clip. But yeah, so they have that in common. I just wanted to throw that in there.
That sucks, like expressing to your father, being like, I'm scared of whales, and him flipping out, being like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
like,
he's an asshole.
What?
Yeah, like why can't I be scared of whales? What an asshole.
Okay.
Genuinely, this guy was crazy. So even if I would have started testosterone back then, I wouldn't have been safe to do so despite not living with him. I never even officially came out to him or anything, but I never hid it either. I just never explicitly said anything about it because I was so scared of him and his threats. That sucks.
That does suck. It's just like kind of like living in secrecy. Like I'm not hiding it, but I'm not expressing it either.
Yeah, and we're very lucky that our families are like not like this. But
yeah, 100%.
God, so many people out there have the most horrific parents. It sucks. He was just a really miserable, narcissistic old man. He died last year. And even though he could stand my mom and I got all of his inheritance. I sold the cars I got from him, took the money and used it to start testosterone. Yay. I also used it to buy a massive old hippie van that he would have also thrown a fit about. And I started a tradition of getting a new tattoo every year on his birthday out of spite.
Wow.
I don't talk about it much because it seems really harsh to anyone who didn't grow up with parents like that. There's some things I can't even mention about him here. But damn, I'm so happy now, and it brings me a lot of satisfaction to know that something good came out of someone who caused so many people so much pain. Oh my God. I wouldn't have been able to do this without that money, since my income goes towards other necessities and my insurance does not cover HRT. Never feel guilty for cutting people off if they make you feel unsafe and horrible. And if they die, use their money against them. Signed, the very spiteful boy in cabin 6. Listen, this was a very specific instance, and I fully support our camper.
Me too.
Yeah, sometimes, like we said just before, parents can be real assholes, and we all have issues with our family, but this was someone that was just never liked, it seemed like, by their father, and a very troubling relationship.
Right. And I'm sure you're probably finding like some sort of healing and peace getting the tattoo every year on your father's birthday, which I fully support. Also, congratulations on the HRT. That's great.
I know, fantastic. And you really made lemonade out of lemons.
Amen.
I know. It sucks. I'm so sorry that your insurance isn't covered in that either. You know what I mean?
I know, yeah.
The world set this up. This inheritance came for a reason and everything worked out. I'm so happy for that. And congratulations. And don't feel guilty about it. I don't think you're spiteful. I think you did what you had to do to survive. Mm-hmm. And I hope that you feel like you're thriving now. And I would love to see pictures of the hippie van.
Scary stories around the campfire.
Welcome back to Scary Stories. Okay, as we record this, it is finally October, and we're going to be reading like spookier, paranormal, ghostly UFO encounter, humanoid encounter, just like spooky shit that isn't shit related or embarrassing stories. We're going to be reading those this month, just to get in the spooky vibes.
Yeah, we get so many funny, scary stories, but we said let's dedicate October spooky season to the real spooktastic stories, and we have a lot of them. Too.
Yeah. So the story, with that being said, was written to us in February 25th, 2023. And we're reading it now.
That was my brother's 30th birthday.
Oh my God, that was. Happy birthday, Jackson. Okay. Hey, dearest counselors. Sorry in advance if this is a little long, but it was one of the scariest moments of my life. My boyfriend and I are avid campers. Look at that, another camp story. I can't believe it. You can't make this shit up.
Do you think they found our podcast because they were searching for actual camp podcasts?
A couple of people have. There's like 2 reviews where someone was like, hey, and also a comment on YouTube where people are like, hey, I came for literal camping advice, but I stayed for these 2 weirdos.
I know, so I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay. So my boyfriend and I are avid campers, and we traveled all around Ontario to numerous parks for the past 8 years. Typically, our booze-fueled adventures are always filled with loads of fun despite whatever Mother Nature tosses our way. But not all of our camping trips have been filled with such amazing times. About 4 years ago, we went a little north to a park called Driftwood for my birthday. I'm a September baby, so typically when we camp on my birthday, it's a fair chance that it'll be quite chilly, which is never an issue. There's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing.
Yeah, let me say something real quick.
Yeah.
There is bad weather in camping. Okay, if it's not nice out, you shouldn't be camping. I've camped in October and I had bad clothing and it was a bad camping experience.
Yeah, I'm sure everything's freezing. You're freezing your tits off.
This sounds like a real camper.
Yeah, this is a real camper. She's just, if it's bad and you're having a rough night's sleep, you have to blame yourself.
Yeah. So, well, hey, she's got a lot to say. So I trust her opinions on camping.
Okay. So we had never gone to this park and we were excited for the experience. But upon arrival, it was clear that we were the only campers. It was pretty cool at first, kind of like when you're a kid and you go to a public school after hours when it's empty. It's fun, LOL. Great visual.
A great analogy.
Anyway, for the first couple of nights, we were loving life as we got to explore the trail and the other sites. Then the weather turned and we began experiencing horrible rain and lightning storms. See, to me, this is like bad weather.
Yeah, this is bad weather. I don't want to be in a tent in the rain.
Yeah. But she says we were properly tarped up. That's the thing. This girl, never properly tarped up.
Pulling the tarp taut and making sure that the rain is running off of the top of the tent and flooding downhill away from it so it doesn't seep and actually get into the tent. You have to make sure it's like the rain's in the right direction. See? I have some experience.
You know where it's easiest to do that?
Where?
At a Comfort Inn Plus.
Ooh, or a Marriott.
This is when it starts to get scary. After a day of this weather, we had gotten used to hanging around our site, obviously, playing lots of backgammon and cribbage. #sliving. I have no idea. Or cribbage? I have no idea what cribbage is.
Either do I, but this person's an experienced card player and an experienced camper.
Cribbage, it sounds like a type of soup.
They're everything I want to be.
Okay. As the evening approached, we were getting ready to turn in. The lightning show was getting more and more intense. When we went to bed, I remember being able to see the silhouettes of the trees and our car through the tent due to the intensity of the lightning. Flash forward to about 3 a.m., and I kid you not, 1,000,000% Scout's honor. I wake up and look over to see my boyfriend still sleeping beside me. I started readjusting, and that's when I saw it. The lightning was still going strong, so I could see the silhouettes of the trees, the car, and something else.
Stop it.
At first, I wasn't sure what it was, but as the storm continued, it appeared to be getting closer. Terrified, I just kept staring wide-eyed as this thing outside of our tent started moving slowly forward. As it got closer, it looked like a humanoid figure wearing an astronaut helmet. I was completely frozen in fear to the point in which I couldn't move. With each flash of lightning, it got closer and closer until I saw it at the tent and started coming in, and then completely disappeared. fucking frightening.
Absolutely.
The next day, the entire park had an extremely eerie and heavy presence, but it was the day we were leaving, so I just focused on that. I do experience sleep paralysis, so I tried convincing myself that that's what it was. But this time, it was too realistic to shake. I brought it up to my boyfriend, who suggested maybe it was just a bad dream. It wasn't until a few weeks ago when we were discussing the previous trips that I had brought it up again. To my horror, my boyfriend recalled that night. He told me at the time he didn't want to bring anything up because he thought it would freak me out too much. On that night, I had the experience of the spaceman shadow figure. He too had woken up and saw something rummaging around our site. He said he saw it and it freaked him out pretty badly to the point where it made him question if he ever wanted to go camping again. We still do go though, because we're thrill seekers, LOL. We actually just came back from a negative 19-degree camping trip last weekend.
Jesus Christ.
But the events of Driftwood have never left me. To this day, the idea of this thing is still clearly burned into my brain, and I don't know if having the confirmation from my boyfriend makes it better or not. Yours truly, trying to sleep through the night in cabin 8. P.S. I love you both. The pod makes my week. Also, Team Christine Brown.
Yes. Wait, so was it, I'm confused. Was it a human or were they saying it was like an alien?
I think it was a humanoid. So like God knows what it was. It could have been an alien, something like looking like it was wearing a space helmet. I don't know. It's just so, that's terrifying. What else could it be? Like if you're seeing the silhouette of something and it's an animal, like you can tell if it's an animal.
Okay, can you explain to me what a humanoid is?
Okay. If you guys are watching on YouTube, I'll put a little picture up here. It's like, just like, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's like, it's a humanoid. It's simply put, just a humanoid. It's something that is subhuman.
Something kind of like a human, but not an animal.
Yeah.
I think it's scary because it wasn't an animal. Like obviously if it was a bear, horrifying story, but like at least we have confirmation of what it is.
Yeah. Almost like a monster. Like when you're a kid and what you think is like under your bed, like a scary monster is a humanoid essentially.
What was he rummaging through?
I don't know.
Cans of beets?
Cans of, ew.
The cribbage?
There's plenty of dirt on the ground. Not the cribbage. I think that's a card game, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
But I love that he said that he didn't see it. And then a couple weeks later, he was like, actually, I did see that, but you were freaking out and I could not put that on you. So
Yeah.
It wasn't sleep paralysis. There's no way.
Oh my God. Sleep paralysis is so scary.
What's really scary too is when you're sleeping in a tent at night and you get that instant panic that someone could be outside the tent and then it overtakes you. And then I can't imagine being in a tent and just seeing the silhouette of somebody.
And it's the lightning too. So think about like a slow strobe. It's like you're not constantly seeing it move. You're seeing it move and then it gets dark and you're like, where could it be?
Yeah. And it's that intense of a lightning storm where you're getting like different movements around the campsite. That's horrifying. And then I can't believe they still do camping trips
in negative 90-degree weather. Get out of, well, that's probably Celsius.
It doesn't matter. It's still cold.
That's
It's
still
still
cold as
so
tits.
cold.
That's
Well,
so
camper,
cold.
you truly are a thrill seeker, and I hope that you never encounter anything as horrifying like that again. But I will say this: you are testing fate by continuing those trips. I don't know. The wilderness by itself. I don't know. I believe in aliens. I believe in other things. We don't know what's going on.
A lot of weird shit lurks, and a lot of people do go missing in the woods.
Yeah.
National parks.
Look at the national park surveys, you guys. A lot of missing people. The woods are a dark, scary place. That's why I'm a city mouse.
Yeah. I could sleep in the car though.
Yeah, I would have slept in the car.
Yeah, that's what I
Humanoid
would have
can't
done.
open the door, can he?
Yeah.
He's like, actually, I can't have hands, bitch.
He's literally, I have thumbs and I can just simply break the window like Regina.
Well, I'm going to go and Google humanoid so I can give myself a panic attack. That sounds like a
Okay.
fun afternoon for me.
Sounds great. And you guys can Google, well, you don't have to, campcounselorspodcast.com, and you can click the little write-in tab if you want to write in. We're going to be having a team of people go through some of the emails, so we're not always going to be doing it.
Yeah, ever since we started Trail Mix, we've been getting an influx of amazing stories, and it's getting a little hard for us to stay on top of it. So we have some people helping us out now. So we're really excited to read your stories. And with that being said, lights out, campers.